Why is that tape over there?
So, I don't know. Why do you think that tape's over there?
Maybe somebody cannot sit there and maybe pass a document if he needs it.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
was the sheriff's all put over here? There's 1, 2, and 3. One right there.
Section's closed. You can't sit there and
Was
pass
that
documents.
because maybe if he had evidence to be put in before the court, he would not be an obstructive of his due process right?
Is he around?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
Sir, what's your name?
Sir,
Okay.
we're adults here, okay? Let's act
Well,
like adults.
He's somebody that works with the Attorney General, obviously.
Well, if that's the case, he should identify himself, don't you think?
He doesn't have to identify.
You can everybody
himself.
make sure your hats and sunglasses are off your heads. And as I said before, make sure all your cell phones are turned off. And if I see them out, this court is reconvened. Please stand up. Please stand up. You may be seated.
I'm giving one special calendar, SB 13-10470, Maryland accusation for Anthony Troy Williams, occurrence peace. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Senior Mariana, Deputy Attorney General for the State Court.
Good afternoon.
Private Attorney General Anthony Williams. I represent myself in corporate persona sui juris.
Good afternoon. And the record will note the presence of standby counsel, Ms. Gutierrez.
Also demanded this common law jurisdiction is demanded.
Okay. Ms. Mariano, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. To proceed with the identification. State's first witness is Joseph.
Can you please ask the officer to move?
I do.
Please state your name.
Joseph Stowe,
Mr. Stock, where do you work?
Special Agent with the Attorney General's Office,
How long have you been a special agent with the Department of the Attorney General?
10 years.
Were you assigned to a case involving Anthony Troy Williams?
Yes, it was.
Did you conduct a background check for Mr. Williams?
Yes, I did.
What were the results of your background check?
He had 2 outstanding warrants in the NCIC.
Where did the warrants come from?
One was from Atlanta, Georgia, and the other was from the FBI.
What did you do after learning about these warrants?
I contacted the FBI, also the Atlanta, Georgia PD, and confirmed the warrants. And the FBI emailed me copies of the warrant and photograph of Mr. Anthony Troy Williams.
You received the warrant from Georgia and from the FBI, correct?
Yes.
And both warrants have the name Anthony Troy Williams?
Yes.
And you mentioned that you received a photo also from the FBI, correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, may I have 2 minutes?
Yes.
Mr. Sapp, I'm sure you have seen warrants for identification by State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a photograph of Anthony Troy Williams that I received in email.
And you received that September 13, 2013.
That's correct.
Can I ask you would like to enter into evidence what's been warrant for identification of Exhibit 2?
All right. It'll be received.
Did you eventually meet Mr. Williams in person?
Yes.
When was that?
September 13, 2013 at 13:15 hours at 425 Queen Street.
What happened when you met him?
He was placed under arrest by Special Agent Wayne Hirayama, and I entered the room and I did a custodial search on Mr. Williams.
What was Mr. Williams being arrested for?
He was arrested for extradition to Atlanta, Georgia, for molestation.
And you recognize Mr. Williams from the photo, is that correct?
That's correct.
After Mr. Williams was arrested and you mentioned the custodial search, what happened after that?
He was eventually placed in a sheriff's white vehicle or transport vehicle and taken to 240 Calvert Street for processing.
And he was booked there, is that correct?
That's correct.
Was his fingerprints taken?
He refused to have his fingerprints taken by electronic.
What happened?
Well,
What happened after that?
Once they tried to fingerprint him, he refused. He said it was unconstitutional, and the sheriff decided to do a false print. And they were struggling with Mr. Williams. I assisted by holding his arms. And when we had his hand on the electronic printer, he apparently stepped on the clicker on the floor, and it turned the machine off. He locked the machine, and we couldn't do a print because he was fighting us. And so what we had to do was place him back in the cell, and he claimed injury.
And what happened when he said he was injured?
The sheriffs eventually took him to Straub Hospital. As we were leaving, we all left at the same time. They took him to Straub for medical treatment.
And eventually he went back to the sheriff's station.
Yes, he was eventually taken back to the sheriff's office, received.
Do you know if he was ever fingerprinted?
I found out yesterday that he was eventually fingerprinted by the sheriffs, and it was a manual fingerprint, in other words, inked, and the card was being sent to Hawaii Criminal Justice Data Center.
You see him receiving the warrants from the state of Georgia. What is Mr. Williams wanted for in the state of Georgia?
Molestation of a minor.
And you spoke to the authorities in the state of Georgia, correct?
That's correct.
And did they want him to be returned to Georgia?
That's correct. I received also an email from them prior to being arrested that they will extradite Mr. Williams back.
Is bail being requested by the state of Georgia?
No bail.
I'm sorry,
They're requesting no bail.
are they requesting that this court set the bail at no bail?
That's correct.
Did everything you testified to occur in the city of Honolulu, state of Hawaii?
Yes, it did.
I have no further questions for you, sir.
Mr. Williams, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can ask them.
Officer, you said that you received a complaint from the FBI and the Atlanta Police Department.
I received a warrant.
A warrant?
Copy of the warrant, yes.
Okay, on this warrant, how was the name listed on the warrant? Who was the person on the warrant?
Detroit Williams.
And was that in all capital letters?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we need to have that established today. You don't remember?
Do you have a copy of the warrant? I can look at it and tell you what it is.
That your prosecutor should have a copy of it. I mean, your office should have a copy of it. You said you received it.
Yes, but I turned it over. And if you have a copy of all the people, you might have one too.
Well, I don't have all the copy of the paperwork that they sent you. They didn't give me everything.
I don't have a copy with me.
Okay, but you said that the person on there was Anthony Troy Williams.
That's correct.
Okay, and what do you define a person as?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained.
Very relevant.
Next question, Mr. Williams.
Is a person a corporation, an entity, or a live human being?
Objection again, Your Honor, the relevance of that.
It's very relevant.
Sustained.
So on the warrant that you saw from the Atlanta or FBI, who did they have on there as witnesses of me committing this heinous crime?
I have no idea. I'm not investigating the case.
I mean, but you're saying you are eyewitness that you received the warrant, so you don't know what's on the warrant?
Most warrants don't have names of who the
Yes, in order for
I have
a warrant to issue, there has to be witnesses to a crime committed. So you're saying that you received a warrant from the FBI and the Atlanta Police Department. I'm asking you on and for the record, who was on there listed as a witness against me for committing this heinous crime?
I have no idea because I didn't receive anything saying who's on the warrant or whatever, but I didn't do the investigation. All I'm saying is I got a copy of the warrant. Anthony Troy Williams' name was on it, and eventually he was arrested, and that is you.
So did you test the merits of the warrant?
I don't need to test no merits.
According to the law, you do. So you didn't check to see if it was a valid warrant.
I got a verbal statement. It was a valid warrant.
You had a verbal statement?
Yes.
Was this statement under oath? Notarized by a notary under oath?
Do you notarize a verbal statement, sir?
An affidavit, because it's an affidavit arrest, but there's no notarized statement under oath. An oath means that there's a notary.
I don't want to get into no.
I'm asking you a question. So do you understand what an affidavit means? Do you?
There's no relevance for an affidavit or swearing.
Yes, it is.
To this matter.
That's true.
It's
If
very
that's an
good.
objection, it's sustained.
I'm using your own law since the judge won't follow the Constitution. I'm taking this from Chapter 832, Uniform Criminal Extradition Act. So, officer, do you understand the procedure in executing an extradition warrant?
I arrest the subject, and then it's up to the courts to decide on the extradition, not my doing.
I'm saying you don't understand what your duty is?
I didn't say that. I said I execute the warrant. It's not my duty to question what the warrant or what the judge has to determine. It's not my duty. My duty is to arrest the subject and bring him to court.
So any warrant that you get, you're just going to execute it without checking the merits of it?
I don't know what merit you're talking about, sir.
To make sure that it's a valid warrant, make sure that the person actually committed the crime or was actually in the state to
I am
commit the
not a
crime?
jury. I'm not the jury. I'm not the judge.
I didn't say
and
you were.
I do not question the case. My thing is I arrest the subject. His day in court will come when he faces the judge and the jury. That's not my doing.
So
I
how
bring
did you
to
identify?
court I bring you to court to face the judge. You plead guilty or not guilty. That's up to you, not mine. I am just the arresting officer. I bring you to court and say, you've been arrested for this crime, and it's your duty to present to the court your innocence. Mine is just to bring you to court and say, you've been arrested, and that's all I need to do. If you want to get out of jail, you put up a bail, but there's no bail. So
When you
I
got
have
the
to
warrant.
I don't have to do any meriting of any kind of warrant. The warrant was told to me it was valid by the people in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's safe. And I arrested you.
Okay, so when you got the warrant by Anthony Troy Williams, did you understand that Anthony Troy Williams, that is a different entity? There's two different entities. There's a flesh and blood entity, and there's a corporation with the same name. Did you understand that when you executed the warrant?
You're Anthony Troy Williams to me. I don't care whether you're calling yourself an entity, a human being with blood and bones, whatever you want to call yourself, you call yourself.
Okay, then how can you sit here in this court and say that you've arrested the right individual?
Because I confirmed it with Atlanta, Georgia, your date of birth, your social security. That's it.
Whose date of birth?
Your date of birth.
Was it my date of birth, or
Your date of birth.
was it the corporation named Anthony Troy
You want to
Williams?
call yourself a corporation? That's up to you, not my doing.
I got paperwork filed on that, sir.
That's good for you.
So that's what I'm asking you. Did you check?
I don't need to check nothing more
Did
than
you
what
check
I told
any
you.
documentation that shows that there's a separate entity named Anthony Troy Williams and a flesh and blood living man named Anthony Williams? Did you check that?
Since you're objecting, asking Mr. Self questions that.
He's already answered. He didn't check.
So he didn't check. So that's
So it's been
then
answered.
Then he can't rightfully say that he's a witness to who I am if he didn't check.
Do you have another
there's-
question, Mr. Williams?
I got several other questions, but I'm
Then
saying
ask
that he
it.
still hasn't answered that question.
He's answered it. Ask another question if you have one.
So you're saying on the digital prints that I refused and that I said it was unconstitutional,
That's what you said.
right? And do you understand when a citizen tells you that a constitutional right is being violated, do you understand your duty to that citizen?
You have the right to object, but you don't have the right to prevent us from speaking you.
And what law says that?
You're in violation of us doing our official duties.
I asked you what law says that.
You're interrupting. You're blocking our duties as a government.
Again, I asked you what law says that,
I
sir.
answered you, sir. You can't take
You,
my
you didn't tell. You didn't give me no law. I'm asking you either show me a Hawaii revised statute law that says that, show me a federal law that says that, show me a Supreme Court case that says that, show me a constitutional amendment or article that says that. What law?
I answered you.
You haven't answered the question, sir. What law?
Your Honor, the witness has stated he's answered.
No, he hasn't answered. Just because he stated he answered don't mean he answered.
Do you have an objection?
Yes, Your Honor. He
What?
asked and answered, Mr. Self has answered this question.
He hasn't answered. I asked him what state law.
That's overruled. He asked what state law, and Mr.
Okay, I
Self
don't know
hasn't.
what name or what's not part of the law. You take it up and look in the book yourself.
No, that's your job, sir. You
Yeah.
saying you
Mr.
saying that.
Williams, he's answered your question now. He doesn't know what law.
Okay, so then if there is no law, then how can I be in violation of something you said that I was violating?
I answered your question already.
No, so I'm saying, how can I be in violation
The
of
judge
something
will
you
determine
say
that.
that it's not a law? You can't tell me what the law is, sir. What's the law?
I don't know the law because I don't know the law, and I judge told
You know the reason why you don't know the law, sir? Because there is no law. Or is there a law? And if there is one, then I would like to have this courtroom recessed so you can find me that law that I was in violation of.
I just told you so.
I'm asking the court to have a recess so he can find this law that I'm in violation of for them to assault me in that booking room. Where is the law?
Mr. Williams, your request for a recess is denied. Do you have any other questions?
So you're going to deny me for them to prove what law I'm in violation of?
Yes. So do you have another question?
Are you on your oath today, sir?
I was given the oath by the clerk.
What oath?
Were you here, Sid? Are you sitting there? Did you hear it?
No, what oath? I'm saying no. I'm not talking about a sworn-in oath. I'm saying you're saying that you are a sheriff, correct? You're a sheriff's deputy. Is that correct?
No.
You're not a sheriff deputy?
No.
What are you?
Special agent with the Attorney General's office.
You're a special agent with the Attorney General's office. And
Correct.
do you have an oath of office that you have?
I've answered you, sir.
No, you haven't answered it.
I
The
protected
question
the
is,
United States.
what does your oath state?
I answered.
You haven't answered the question.
I'm here as a law enforcement officer. I protect
And
the
what
life
does
and
your
liberty of
oath
all.
state, sir?
No, if you can object, Mr. Self has
You can't
answered
object.
and
He has to know what his
it's
oath
irrelevant.
says.
Yes, she can object. What is your objection?
He's answered and it's also a relevant question.
No, it's
It's
irrelevant.
irrelevant. Sustained.
No, it's very relevant.
If I've made a mistake, then at some point you can appeal this, but I've ruled.
Or
And
will be
if you
appealed.
have, okay, that's fine. Do you have another question?
Yes. Since you say you work for the Attorney General's office, is it safe to say that you know the laws of the state of Hawaii?
I know pretty much the laws that I govern, yes.
You know the laws. Okay. So can you tell me what Hawaii Revised Statute 832-3 states?
I have no idea what the section is. I don't know what law that is. You gotta give me.
It's form and demand law. It's the form and demand.
I don't know what that says.
Do you understand what the extradition laws for the state of Hawaii are?
Not fully. I don't.
Not fully or not at all?
I just told you, not fully.
Or not at all?
I answered you.
Do you know any extradition laws in the state of Hawaii?
What do you know, sir?
Well, I'm not on the witness stand, sir. Answer the question.
I did. I answered.
Do you know any extradition laws in the state of Hawaii?
Object, Your Honor, he's arguing with the witness.
No, I'm not. I'm asking him a question.
Sustained. Sustained.
He said he fully knows some of them. Okay, I'm asking him, do you know any? And can you quote any of them? Can you recite any of them?
Object, Your Honor, that's not relevant.
That's very relevant because if he's trying to execute an extradition warrant, so he should understand what the laws is regarding extradition.
Mr. Williams, he's indicated that
That he don't know anything.
he ran a check. He confirmed outstanding warrants for a person named
That's not the question I
Troy
asked.
Williams.
I asked, does he understand?
Whether he understands the extradition law.
So then what you have in this state is offices full of officers that are incompetent, that don't even know their own state laws?
You have a question?
I just questioned you.
A question of the witness.
Officer, when you got your warrant or paper from the FBI and the Atlanta Police Department, did the entity that they're trying to seek have a social security number to it?
I believe it did.
What was that social security number?
I don't know it offhand. I'm not remembering the numbers.
You should have the paperwork. Can you, the prosecutor,
I
give him
don't
the
have a
paperwork?
number. I don't have a paper.
Can the prosecutor give him the paperwork? So he can have it read on and for the record?
You have it? Do you have the warrant?
Yes, Your Honor, but I don't believe it's relevant to have it that for the social security.
You don't believe nothing is relevant, ma'am. Can you read the whole arrest warrant for the record, please, sir?
No, he doesn't have to read the whole arrest warrant. You questioned him.
I'm asking him a question. Can he read it out loud?
No.
I was asking him.
You can ask specific
That's a
questions
specific
pertaining to the warrant, but you're not going to ask him to read the whole warrant
Why not?
because I say so.
Because, I mean, this is a part of the hearing, so I can have this. in on the
Everything
record.
that's going on here is part of the hearing,
Right,
but
so
it
why
doesn't
can't
mean that it is proper or
Why is it not
appropriate.
proper to have the charges or the arrest warrant read for the record?
Listen, the reason why I permitted the prosecutor to give him a warrant is because the social security number may have something to do with the identification issue before the court. And that is the only issue before the court.
So why can't he read it from the warrant?
He can read the social security number because that's what you asked about, and that is why you asked for a copy of the warrant. So why don't you follow up on that?
Okay, after he reads that, then I'm gonna ask him, can he read the whole warrant?
You can ask another question after you ask that one question about the social security number.
You read the social security
I will
number.
rule on the next question when you ask it.
Can you read what the social security
This is
number?
not the warrant. This is an affidavit.
Okay, then that's not the warrant.
Okay, where's the warrant?
Can I put the witness in to go to the document that you want?
Yes.
This is the FBI.
Also, I have not received the arrest warrant, a copy of the arrest warrant from the FBI or the Atlanta Police Department. The only thing I have is also this affidavit of arrest. I don't have a copy of neither of those documents.
Sure. Yes.
I believe we gave him a copy of the whole form.
No, you did not.
you. Mr. Williams, apparently there is no copy of the warrant,
Your Honor,
or there is, and it doesn't have a social security number on it.
actually, that's it.
So you have another question.
Okay, so if the warrant doesn't have a social security number on it, then how are you going to identify me as the person that you are looking for, that they're looking for?
I ran the NCIC. On the NCIC, it's your name, your description, your social security, your date of birth, and you're saying that you are the subject of this warrant.
You said social security, now they just said they don't have the social security on there.
So I ran the NCIC, and in the NCIC, which I produced to everybody, as your social security, date of birth, and description, sir.
Okay, do you understand that I do not have a social security number?
That's up to you. That's not up to me.
That's a question. I said, do you understand that I don't have a social security number?
Objection, Your Honor, he's asking a question that only obviously he will know whether he is a
No, I'm asking, do we understand that? Or I'm gonna question it this way. Is it your knowledge that every citizen has to have a social security number?
In the United States, normally they do. Not all. Maybe you have immigrants, and some immigrants do. Okay.
I'm talking about naturally born citizens here.
Objection, Your Honor, it's relevant.
Very relevant to the identity. It's very relevant to the identity.
I'm going to sustain the objection. He has not been able to produce a social security number. It apparently is not on the document he was shown. So, as far as I know, there's no social security number. So move on to another area.
Okay, without a social security number, then how can you differentiate me from all the Anthony Williams and Anthony Troy Williams around the country?
I just answered that question.
No, you didn't. I never asked it.
Just answered your question.
How can you differentiate?
Can I answer the question?
I think you did. I mean, he said he had information on your date of birth, your description, your name, things like that.
I'm saying that's the information he got. I'm asking him, how do you differentiate from when you get a hit and there's other Anthony Troy Williams? How do you differentiate from the other Anthony Troy Williams?
I got your photograph, sir.
You got the photograph.
Your photograph. Your driver's license photograph.
I don't have a driver's license.
That's what it,
Did you verify that I have a driver's license? Did you verify the driver's license with the state of Georgia?
That was sent to me by the FBI, and that's your information.
So I don't care who it was sent by. Did you verify it?
I answered these questions.
No, did you verify it? Just because you got sent something don't mean it's verified.
Yes, sustained.
Yes, it does, because I don't have a state driver's license.
Next question, Mr. Williams.
I don't have a state driver's license. So how can he verify me through a state
Tell you
driver's
what.
license?
When we're done with the witnesses, when the state has called all of its witnesses, then you'll have an opportunity to testify if you want to, but now's not the time.
Well, can I call the state as a witness?
I don't know. If you can convince me that whoever you want to call has some relevant
Yeah, I need the
information.
state of
Listen to
Georgia.
me. The issue before the court is, are you the person that is the subject of Georgia's charges and the extradition warrant? Okay, that's a very limited issue. Other issues that you want to raise, if the state can get by this identification issue, you can raise in an application for writ of habeas corpus, and you'll have a full opportunity to do that. But for now, let's try to keep focused on the identification issue.
Well, right now, I don't have no further questions other than just to state that his testimony is flawed and he's very incompetent as an officer of the Attorney General's office.
Okay, that's on the record. Do you have any other questions? Thank you.
Gordon from Ireland.
And I need to address the court also. Why was I not given the opportunity to be able to have my witnesses here to call, to be able to answer? I never was given that opportunity.
What witnesses do you want to call?
I'm gonna have to have some witnesses from out of state come also to verify that the all capital letters name Anthony Troy Williams is not me, the flesh and blood man.
Okay, I'll give you an opportunity to put that on the record later, but let's deal with this witness now. Mr. Williams, will you be requiring Ms. Gutierrez to assist you?
No, I don't need no assistance from no bar attorney at no time.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, please, you're excused, but when you're done, upstairs, return. Okay.
Just wanted to add our private testimony about the leadership of the case. Please state your name. Where do you work, Mr. Tamara?
I work for the Public Safety Sheriff's Department,
How long have you worked for the Sheriff's Department?
6 years.
What are your duties as a new deputy sheriff?
I work in the receiving desk, processing, booking, and picking up state arrests.
On September 13, 2013, were you working as a deputy?
Yes.
Were you assigned to assist in the booking of an individual known to you as Anthony Troy Williams?
Yes.
If you were to see Mr. Williams again, would you be able to recognize him?
Yes.
Do you see him in court today?
Yes.
Can you point him out for the court and describe what he's wearing?
That man right there wearing a black t-shirt.
May the record reflect identification of Anthony Troy Williams?
Yes.
Were you assisting in the booking of Anthony Troy Williams with Deputy Dennis Bautista?
Yes.
Was Mr. Williams' fingerprints taken?
Yes.
How was it taken?
Through the fingerprint card.
Was that done manually?
Yeah, manually using ink.
And have you taken fingerprints manually before?
Handful of blankets.
And you were trained to do that at the Sheriff's Academy?
Yes, it's up there.
And when did you attend that academy?
2007.
Did you take fingerprints for Anthony Troy Williams as you were trained?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I put to witness?
Yes.
Well, I'm showing you what's been marked for identification at the bottom and it's two-sided. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a copy of the fingerprint card that we use to obtain Anthony Williams fingerprints.
And how do you actually recognize that it was for Mr. Williams?
I recognize it because part of the agreement for us to fingerprint him, he insisted that we allow him to write on the card, and this is all his writing that he wrote for them.
And you observed him writing that on the card?
Yes.
Were there the copies of the fingerprint card you have there? Are there any changes that you did not see on September 13th?
There's an initials and a date here. That wasn't every form. And signature on the back. It actually signed the card for yesterday.
And why is that?
It didn't get signed that day, and that was pointed out to us, and I had to go down and sign it.
Aside from the notation you filled out and your signature, is the card in the same condition that it was when you took Mr. Williams' fingerprints?
Yes.
And is this fingerprint card kept in the sheriff's office as part of the regularly conducted activity?
Yeah, it's kept in our office until it can be forwarded to the Board of Criminal Justice.
And it's in a secure location only accessible by sheriff's
Yes.
personnel. What happens to the card eventually?
I believe it gets submitted to the data center, and they tie it to the rest of the booking record.
Is that provided from the Justice Data Center at the Attorney General?
Yes.
Did everything you testified to occur in the city upon your preliminary statement?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, no further questions.
Mr. Williams.
Officer Batista. What's your last name?
Tamayo.
Oscar Tamayo. The fingerprint card that she just showed you, can I have him see that card again? He can have view that card. I need him to have that card so I can ask him some questions on these fingerprints. You do recognize the handwriting on that card as belonging to me?
Yes.
And can you read what is written on the card for the record?
Starting at which one?
The top box where it says contract. No contract.
The highest box with the writing on it would be the one that says name, first name, or last name and first name. Is that the one you want me to start from?
No, it should say
The top one says
nature, signature of person fingerprinted.
No, that's the next line down. The top one says contract filed in register of deeds for $500,000.
Okay, now go to the next one. It says signature of person fingerprinted because all that's coming from that one line.
And then the next line down it says no contract / no consent / sound to copyright.
Bound.
Bound to copyright.
Right. Then you got to read the rest. Bound to copyright contract. What else it say?
And the social security box it says
No, you got to read the rest of it because it said bound to contract. Copyright contract. You got to read the rest because that's one sentence.
oh, I read that earlier when you asked me to read the top box.
Yeah, but that's not in line. That's out of line. So can you read it the way it's actually written?
I believe I did.
When you start from bound to copyright contract and read that whole sentence.
Bound to copyright. Oh, and then go back to the top and read contract.
Yes, right.
Contract filed in register of deeds for $500,000.
Yes. And then what was under the social security number?
Not applicable.
Okay,
I believe it says N/A. I'm assuming that's for not applicable.
correct. And what is the other writing?
Under aliases / medium, it says without prejudice. I believe it says Victor Charlie Charlie.
No, UCC.
No, Uniform Charlie Charlie 1-308, comma 1-103.
Mm-hmm.
And it says Anthony Troy Williams, Anthony Troy, Williams, hyphen, not Anthony Troy Williams.
And how is not Anthony Troy Williams written?
Not is in lowercase, Anthony Troy Williams is all in uppercase.
Okay, thank you. Those are all the questions I have for this officer.
You have a question? Okay.
Street calls Barry Conchel. Can you state your name?
Laurie Conchel,
Where are you working in Springfield?
at the White Criminal Justice Data Center.
Is that with the Department of Justice?
Yes,
How long have you worked here?
6 years.
What's your position?
I'm the criminal ID supervisor.
And what are your duties as a criminal ID supervisor?
I supervise the criminal ID unit for the data center.
Do you have any prior employment before working at the data center?
Yes,
What is it?
I worked at Mofotrack as their fingerprint trainer, and I also worked at HPD as the fingerprint ID tech and a fingerprint classifier.
Basically, all the employment you mentioned have to do with fingerprint comparisons. Is that
Yes.
correct? So, what is the total amount of years you worked doing that?
19.
Describe the nature of your work now.
We do all fingerprint verifications for the sheriffs statewide, and we do all the fingerprint verifications for all civil agencies statewide.
Do you work with this system called automated fingerprint identification?
Yes.
What is that?
The automated fingerprint identification system, or otherwise known as AFIS, is the fingerprint repository.
What type of training or education have you received in the area of fingerprint identification?
I've been trained by HPD's retired expert, Sergeant Russell Crossan, I've also been trained by the state's expert, retired Vince Nelson, and I've also received fingerprint.
Oh, do you recognize that?
Yes,
What is it?
it's a fingerprint card that I did the comparison on.
Is that for Anthony Troy Williams?
Yes,
What is the state ID number on that card?
A60-66604.
Objection, that's not an ID for me.
Objections on the record, it's overruled.
Your Honor, at this time, we would like to move into evidence of the state's opinion.
Mr. Williams, you want to object to that,
Item number 2.
which is the fingerprint card?
No, she can present whatever.
Right, we'll proceed.
How are you able to compare these prints of Mr. Williams to the FBI database?
when I received the fingerprint card, we scanned it, and the way our system works, it automatically searches the local APHIS, and then our system forwards it to the FBI, so it searches the FBI system. And when we got the response back from the FBI, it came back with an FBI number.
And what exactly does that mean in regards to comparison?
In regards to comparison, the FBI number means the individual has a record at the FBI, and each individual is assigned a unique number to them for the FBI.
What conclusion did you arrive with that information?
I was able to compare the fingerprint card, the state exhibit 2, to the FBI's fingerprints, and my conclusion came to the prints. Both set of prints were made by the same individual.
And I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but you said there was a match in the computer, and then did you do a manual comparison?
Yes, I did a manual comparison.
And actually, how did you do that manual comparison?
I requested the fingerprint card from the FBI.
And what did you do with that card?
I got the fingerprint card from the FBI, and I did a manual comparison to that fingerprint that was taken of Anthony Troy Williams.
And so, again, based on your comparisons, the fingerprint in exhibit needed to match the one that the FBI had in store for Anthony Troy Williams. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you testified to a fairness in county or community state. Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Williams, any questions of this witness?
Yes, ma'am. Can you state your name for the record?
Mari Kanashiro.
Ms. Conchero, when you did this fingerprint analysis, did you have someone verify it with you?
Yes.
Who verified it?
Kurt Kajioka.
Kurt Kajioka?
Yes.
Is he present in the courtroom today?
He's not in the courtroom, he's sitting outside.
Do you have documentation that he verified?
Yes.
Can I see that documentation?
I mean, what type of verification are you asking for?
I'm asking for the verification. She said that he verified. I want to see the computer generated that shows the match from the FBI file match this file. I want to see it for a direct match, because the only thing y'all giving me is a printout of some prints. And so I want to see the prints from the FBI file and then these files, and I want to see what the printout where it says there's a direct match.
No, I believe the state provided Ms. Gutierrez a copy of the prints that we did get from the FBI. And I believe she gave it to me.
When were those obtained?
I got it from her yesterday, and then we gave it to me today.
Mr. Williams, did Ms. Gutierrez give you anything this afternoon?
The only print she gave me that I have is the card that I signed of these prints. I don't have a copy of the prints that was sent from the FBI. Neither do I have a copy of the computer-generated documentation that shows and that says direct match.
Do you have a copy of the FBI card?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nowhere on here does it says that this is from the FBI. Where is that it says it's from the FBI? Nowhere on this does it says it's from the FBI. It just has some fingerprints. These look like the fingerprints that they actually took here. This is not from the FBI. These are the first fingerprints that I took here. So I want the fingerprints from the FBI. That's not it.
Ms. Mariano, what did you give him?
Yeah, I gave him this package that I received from the witness. And it included the fingerprints.
Do you know, are you sure that you gave him what was obtained from the FBI?
I gave Mr. Jerry what I got from his concierge.
Maybe, Mr. Williams, you want to ask Ms. Kaneshiro, what do you have?
Because this is not from the FBI.
Okay, Ms. Kaneshiro, let me ask you. Do you have a copy of what you're from the FBI?
Yes, I do.
What does it consist of?
It consists of the fax cover sheet that they sent with fingerprints from the FBI.
How many pages?
It's a total of 4 pages.
Can I look into the data? Let Mr. Williams see it.
This is not from the FBI. This is, I gave these fingerprints the other day. This is the same as this. So what are y'all trying to pull here?
Mr. Williams, do you have any questions of Ms. Kaneshiro? You can ask her that if you want.
Yes, these fingerprints are the fingerprints that I took on the first card that they did for me, and then I had to do this second card. So how did the FBI get these fingerprints that I just gave them a fingerprint to verify? So how are they going to use the fingerprints that I used here as fingerprints that they already have on file to verify the fingerprints that we have here?
That fingerprint card that you're holding from the FBI is a different copy from what was taken. It's the other print that was taken at the sheriff's facility at Calvary Street. If you look at the right hand is not printed very light. It's printed very lightly.
I understand it, ma'am. I did two physical fingerprints.
Mr. Williams, don't argue with her. You can testify to those facts later on. You can just ask her questions.
Okay, so how do you know that your colleagues didn't take the fingerprints? Because these are obviously the fingerprints that I did. I did 2 sets. How do you know that your colleagues didn't send this to the FBI and then had the FBI fax this to you as fingerprints they already have in the database on me?
All of those papers, the 4 pages of the fax, the first 2 pages is the cover sheets from the FBI. The 3rd page was the fingerprint card, and the 4th page was the back side of the fingerprint card.
I understand that, but I'm asking you, how do you know they didn't send this to the FBI for the FBI to turn around and fax you with this cover sheet? The same prints, I know my fingerprints, the same prints, the first set of prints that I gave them. Because this is the first set of prints, this is the second set of prints.
Okay, on that fax from the FBI, on the back, the fourth page, there's an ORI. The ORI is an originating agency identifier that's identified to every single law enforcement agency. And on the back side of that fingerprint card, the ORI begins with AL. And AL stands for the state that the fingerprints were submitted from. All fingerprints submitted from Hawaii begin with an HI. That's how I know those prints are not from Hawaii.
Okay, now, what date was these fingerprints taken by the FBI?
It's on the back, on the cover, on the back of the, on page 4 of that fax.
It's on the back of page 4?
It's on page 4 of the fax. That's the back side of the fingerprint card.
Okay, on here it says date of arrest, August 26, 1971, for the FBI.
Yes.
Do you understand what that date is, ma'am?
No, I do not. Oh, that's the date of arrest. The date the fingerprints were taken on that fingerprint card.
Okay, then that means these fingerprints, ma'am, were taken 17 days after I was born. Do you have an answer for that, ma'am? Because the date of arrest on this form says 1971, August the 26th. So again, what kind of game are y'all trying to pull on me here? I need an answer. Well,
That's not a question, right?
that is a question. Well, I mean, because she's saying that she got these prints from the FBI. Okay, on the back card, she said the date of arrest. The date of arrest is August the 26th, 1971.
I've heard her testimony. First of all, let's mark the 4 pages that were given to you from Ms. Kanashiro's file, the State's Exhibit 3.
And I need a copy of those too.
So we can make a record of it.
Yes, I need a copy of those. Also, ma'am, we just had an officer that gave a testimony that he initialed the fingerprints that I gave. Those are the exact same initials that's on the FBI prints that you're saying the FBI sent you. How did that happen?
Those are my initials because when I make the identification, I always initial the finger that I made identification on.
Well, the officer said this morning that those are the prints that I gave and that you initialed it. Those are the prints that I gave, not that the FBI sent you.
Yes, those are the prints that you gave, and that's what I used to make a comparison against the FBI prints.
No. You're saying this right here is the FBI prints that they sent.
Yes.
Okay, this is what you initialed. These are the prints that I gave here. This is not that was sent from the FBI. These are prints that I gave here.
That's what I got from the FBI last night.
So then why did the officer say that these are the first prints that they took from me, that you initialed, because it got 2 different timestamps on it?
Objection, Your Honor. He's going to agree for that. I don't believe the officer or the sheriff that testified make that a...
Yeah, he did.
What was that question again, Mr. Williams?
The officer, because they took 2 prints from me. They took 2 sets of prints. This one was more darker, more smudged, so they had to take a second one.
So what are you asking her?
Is this one? I'm asking her, how does she know that these prints, which obviously were taken yesterday, was not faxed, sent to the FBI for them to refax it to her under the guise that the FBI had these prints on file for me?
Oh, she answered that question earlier.
No, she didn't. She never answered that.
She did.
How does she know that they didn't do that?
Well, she explained that there are 4 pages and one is the back sheet, and it gives the date of arrest, which you pointed out to be 1971.
So,
and it had the state indication, which was what, AL, and Hawaii is HI. That's what she said.
Right. So how she still haven't answered how my fingerprints did an adult fingerprints with me being 17 days old.
Well, she said she didn't know, if I recall correctly. So that part you already covered. You
For this evidence that as obviously I've uncovered here, these prints are inadmissible because to me it shows fabrication. It shows that the state is acting in bad faith because these prints right here were taken yesterday. This is not in the FBI database for her to.
Mr. Williams, it's not time for argument or testimony. It's time for questions of the witness. So do you have any other questions of the witness?
Yes, on this state exhibit list, the front page, does she have a copy of that? Because this has to do with the fingerprint, since she's the fingerprint expert. Does she have a copy of this? Do you have a copy of this, ma'am? It says state exhibit list, and it describes photo, copy of fingerprints, fingerprint card. Do you have a copy of this? Can you please provide her a copy with this so I can ask her some questions regarding this document? In the plaintiff section, who does it has listed as the plaintiff, ma'am?
State of Hawaii.
And is that in all capital letters?
Yes.
And on the defendant, who does it have listed as the defendant?
Anthony Troy Williams.
And is that all capital letters?
Yes.
And on defendant's attorney, who does it has listed?
Anthony Troy Williams.
And is that all capital letters?
No,
How is it written?
based on checking out, this is out of the scope of her testimony, and it's.
No, I'm just having her verify.
She testified to a document that she never seen before and actually never prepared, so I don't believe that is relevant to this.
It's very relevant. Because we got the finger. She says she's a fingerprint expert. This is a state exhibit for her fingerprint. So I'm making sure she identified this exhibit on the record.
Are you questioning her from the state's exhibit list?
Right, because it has the finger, because she's a fingerprint expert.
Objection. Listen, that's something the Attorney General prepares, not something she prepares.
I didn't say she prepared. I'm just asking her to read it so she can understand, because it has her as the fingerprint expert. So they're using her expert witness as the exhibit to use the fingerprints.
We've marked the exhibit, and there's no need for her to read the state's exhibit list. Why don't you move on?
There's no more further questions. I think I proved my point here today.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Miss Spanish.
Thank you.
Lord.
This is Exhibit 4. Or 3. State's Exhibit 3. What? Okay. Measure fourth page of State's Exhibit 3. State's Exhibit 4. There's a box for date of arrest.
Yes.
And that date is 1971.
Yes.
And what was the arrest for?
That's the property one. And the other one is a stick of property, but that's the property one. Both charges.
So those prints, according to your understanding, were obtained in 1971 for those property theft offenses.
date of arrest, it's listed as 1971.
Okay, then how do you know it's connected to Anthony Troy Williams?
I don't, this is why it came from the FBI.
How do you obtain the records from the FBI? Do you use a name? Do you use a alpha number?
I used the name and the FBI number.
You knew what the FBI number was.
Yes.
How did you get that information?
I ran it through APHIS and it came back with the result from the FBI, giving me the FBI number. And I then took the FBI number and requested the fingerprints from the FBI. And this is what I received from them.
So you used the name and the FBI number.
Yes.
And you came back with the data.
Yes.
And that's what they sent you.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do you have any
Just
questions?
one question. Actually, when you said you ran APHIS, you mean that you took the prints from the sheriff and ran that? That's
Yes.
also how you got it?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I need to ask a question also.
Yes.
Okay, you said you already had the FBI number.
I ran the fingerprints through APHIS, our local APHIS, and then it searched the FBI, and then the FBI came back with a hit with the FBI number, and that's how I got the FBI number.
Well, no, you just told the judge that you already knew the FBI number. You just told him that you knew the FBI number.
I knew the FBI number after running the hit.
That's not what you said. You said you knew the FBI number. Do we need to have the transcript redone right now so we can say she said that she knew the FBI number?
Whatever she said is in the record, Mr. Wilson.
Okay, now, if you already knew the FBI number, then why would there be a need for you to get the FBI number if you already had it?
We always run every fingerprint through APHIS and through the FBI. So regardless, if we know anybody's FBI number, we run it through APHIS anyway.
Okay, so you do know a lot of people's FBI number before you contact the FBI, correct?
We don't know anybody's FBI number offhand. We just have the fingerprints and we run everything through APHIS and through the FBI.
So you've never known before you ran anybody's prints through the FBI database, you never had any documentation that had their FBI number on there?
We don't. Not prior to the fingerprint verification, we don't have any documentation.
Okay, no further questions.
Anything else?
No, just one more question. On the, you said the date of arrest and the charge. Can you explain how at 17 days old I was charged for theft of property? You can't explain that? Would you say that the FBI is pretty incompetent based on this information? Yes or no? It's a yes and yes. It's relevant. It's definitely relevant to the question because this has to do with my fingerprints and identity and identifying who I am.
Listen, the facts you need are in the record. She doesn't have to answer that question.
Why does she have to answer that?
You can argue it, and it is argumentative. So I'm sustaining the objection.
It's a valid question.
Not after I sustain the objection. Do you have any other questions?
This AL number, how is that number generated?
It's assigned to each law enforcement agency from the FBI.
So the AL number denotes the agency?
It denotes the agency. The AL denotes the state, and the number denotes the agency.
Okay, so the AL would be Alabama?
Yes.
And how do they come up with the other numbers?
That I cannot explain to you.
Okay, on the front page of the FBI fax number, it says approved by KJD DMW. Is one of those people you?
No.
Who are those that has been approved by? Because those just are initials. Do you know who those people are?
They're from the FBI.
And what city FBI sent you these prints?
Clarksburg.
Clarksburg, what state?
West Virginia.
Clarksburg, West Virginia. And is this the center that you get all your prints from that you order?
Yes.
Do they usually send you back prints of infants that then committed theft of property?
They send back what I asked for.
Have you ever had any prints come back with a 17-day-old child from the FBI that has been charged with theft of property? No more further questions.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to have the state of Georgia sworn in.
I don't see that as being possible, Mr. Williams.
Why not?
The state of Georgia's not here.
The state of Georgia is not here?
You heard me correctly.
Okay. If the state of Georgia is not here, then how are we having an extradition hearing for the state of Georgia to extradite me back to the state of Georgia?
Do you have any evidence you want to present, Mr. Williams?
Yes, that's the state of Georgia. If the state of Georgia is doing the extradition, I need the state of Georgia sworn in on the record and not an agent of the
That's
state
not
of
going to
Georgia.
happen. Do you have any other witnesses?
So what you're telling me is that you're going to violate the Constitution.
I'm telling you that we're not going to swear in the state of Georgia.
So if all the witnesses that the state of Georgia supposedly brought in had to be sworn in, how is it that the state of Georgia, who is accusing me, can't be sworn in on and for the record?
Do you have any individuals you'd like to call as witnesses here today?
The state of Georgia. Because that's
We're
a
not going to
person.
have the state of Georgia. Okay, move on to somebody
But I'm
else.
saying that's the witness, because I need to ask the state of Georgia, why would they have an extradition for me to be extradited to Georgia on a charge that I was never in the state of Georgia to commit, that I was in the state of Hawaii at the time of the alleged crime?
Okay, the issue is, are you the person that Georgia wants for this offense?
I need to ask the state of Georgia that. How did they verify that I'm the person that they want? So please bring forth the state of Georgia on and for the record. If they're not here, then it has to be dismissed with prejudice.
Well, you can argue that. I'm just asking you. Georgia's not going to testify, so you've got an issue if you want one.
Okay, who is testifying against me then? If the state of Georgia is not here to testify against me, who is testifying against me? Because the state of Georgia is the one that's charged the legal fiction or the legal person, Anthony Troy Williams.
I'll give you one more opportunity to call someone other than the state of Georgia. If you cannot name anyone else, then we'll move on.
So this is the entity or the person that's charging me.
Do you have
the
anybody
Sixth-
else besides
But the Sixth Amendment says I have a right to face my accuser, sir.
Okay. I'll take that as a no, because you haven't named anyone else you'd like to call. Okay?
Yeah, you all did not give me a heads up that I could have witnesses at this hearing, or I would have asked for a longer extension to be able to bring my witnesses and have my documentation here at this hearing.
I told you yesterday, if you wanted to represent yourself, we could not help you. We can't advise you, give you instructions on how to defend yourself. That's
I don't need your
that's
instructions.
your
I
responsibility.
defend myself very
Okay,
well.
so,
But you still have to follow yours. Now, are you on your oath today also?
all right.
Yes or no, sir?
Are you finished with your evidence?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why
I
don't
need you to
argue
answer that question, sir.
You are,
I'm not going to answer the question.
You're not
Go
going to
ahead.
answer the question that you have sworn to an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, and by law you have to. under Title 5 USC 3331, 3332, 3333. And if you do not do that, under Title 5 USC 7311, you can be arrested for violation of that oath of office. Do you understand that, sir?
Listen, if you want to participate in this hearing, you have to play by the rules. Right?
The rules of the
We
Constitution
are
of the
moving.
United States
I've
of
ruled
America.
on your witnesses. You know, yesterday I told you I took an oath. You asked me if it was on file. It was an oral oath. I don't know if it's on file. That's your answer. All right. Let's get on to the issue at hand, which is your identity, or the identity of the person.
Okay, I need my paperwork right there. That's your oath of office right there. I need that into the record. On and for the record, please, sir. Can you go give me that oath of office?
You can pick it up. Check it. All right.
Into that hand.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, we have presented evidence to Jason himself has confirmed with the state of Georgia, received the warrant from the state of Georgia that Mr. Anthony Troy Williams is wanted in that state. And they confirmed that warrant is active and that they want him extradited back to Georgia.
Objection.
Deputy Sheriff Tamayo identified Mr. Williams as the person who took fingerprints from. Those fingerprints were given to Ms. Kaneshiro, who qualified as an expert in fingerprint comparisons, compared the fingerprints that was taken of Mr. Williams on September 13, 2013, and put it into the database, which she found out that he had an FBI number and prints with the FBI. Those prints were obtained by Ms. Kaneshiro, and she did an actual manual comparison also, which again confirmed that the prints showed that the printed by the sheriff and the same person.
Okay. Now, she also indicated that the fourth page of Exhibit 4 showed the date of arrest when the prints were taken, and that's sometime in 1971. What's the date?
Yes, the card that she did get from the FBI does have the date 1971. I can't explain that.
The arrest date is 1971, right?
It says date of arrest.
And it's from the state of Alabama.
According to Ms. Kaneshiro, yes.
Okay. According to your records, what is the defendant's date of birth?
Well, we are August.
Please enlighten the court.
Mr. Williams,
Yeah,
Mr. Williams, please, you'll have an opportunity to speak, but it's her turn now, so don't interrupt, please. Go ahead.
According to the OBTS, which I believe is data entered by the sheriff and the data center, is August 9, 1971, which is on this print from the FBI on the first page of the date of birth, August 9, 1971.
But according to Ms. Kaneshiro's testimony, the prints are connected to an arrest in August of 1971, right? From somewhere in Alabama.
Your Honor, that's what is listed as a date of arrest, but if you look where I believe she had talked about the charges, if you look at the disposition, it has other dates. So I guess I would submit, but obviously I didn't do it in the year.
What was the date of the arrest? What was the exact date of the arrest on Exhibit 4?
In the box that says date of arrest, it says 1971 as the year, August is the month of 2016.
So, if the defendant's birthday is correct, then he was 17 or so days old at the time of the death, where they obtained those prints. Is there any other way to explain the source of those prints from the evidence we have here?
I guess the only other thing on it is how you just like they say, you did an NCIC check and it had the words, remember the name. I believe it was But again, it seems that, that it could be a typo, and then when you look at the actual charges and disposition, it's
Well, it could be a typo, but we don't have any evidence it's a typo. What we have is Kaneshiro's testimony indicating what those bits of information indicate. And it seems to me that those prints are probably not the prints of a person who was 17 days old at the time. Do you want to offer anything else?
No, just that, I guess, taking into consideration all the testimony, including Mr. Self verifying the NCIC and Georgia and the FBI to confirm that a person wanted by the name Anthony Williams, and the fact that Ms. Kaneshiro's testified about that there was a match, and she confirmed it with the FBI. I guess stated something that's a valid and reliable source of the database interest. And the fact that the FBI sent Mr. Self a picture of Mr. Williams with his information, and also sent the facts to Ms. Kaneshiro, saying that in fact the prints that she had matched the person as wanted.
But if we're talking about the fingerprints, the match is from information furnished by the FBI, which is from August of 1971, when the defendant was 17 years old. So other than the prints, I mean, the prints don't seem to match up, okay? Do you have a photographic confirmation? Do you have anything else that might establish identity?
Well, when Mr. Self testified that he got the photo from the FBI telling him that the photo was of Anthony Troy Williams, and when I asked Mr. Self, did he recognize Mr. Williams, the person that was booked on the Dr. Self as the person in the photo, and he answered yes. So in that regard, there was a photo match done by Mr. Self.
That the photo he got
See from the FBI.
matched the defendant?
Yes.
Anything else? Do we have that photograph in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. Please exhibit one.
Do you have a social security match? Or a description match? Anything else?
Well, Your Honor, I believe I believe the sheriff did not obtain a social security number from Mr. Williams himself. Again, Mr. Self did say that according to the NCIC, he found a social security number, but there was no ID or any confirmation by Mr. Williams himself to say that it is a social security number. Nothing to that effect. However, I believe Mr. Self and the sheriff did see the photo ID, but it wasn't a license, but I believe it had a name.
How about date of birth?
I don't believe the date of birth was on the ID, or I'm not sure if, I guess we have to ask the sheriff if he got the date of birth.
Okay, so you have a photographic identification.
According to the sheriff's, and actually in the reports that I did provide to Mr. Williams, they made identification through photo ID.
Is that sufficient for extradition purposes?
I just would argue that it is, it's a photo ID, that's how other people are identified.
and it's about to that it would be sufficient to have a picture and the name.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing further.
Mr. Williams, you want to argue?
Yes. This whole hearing was based on the fingerprints, then verifying the fingerprints. Was it not?
Argue, don't ask questions.
Right. Well, it was based on the fingerprints, not a photo. If they were going to do it on the photo, they would have extradited me. Now, it's been proven here today that the fingerprints that the FBI have in their database, that we have a sworn fingerprint expert testimony on, that those fingerprints was taken August 26, 1971, when I was 17 days old, still in diapers. Just that case alone, and that fact alone, this extradition hearing should be dismissed. I should be released immediately with prejudice because the state did not prove those fingerprints are actually mine. That's on and for the record. It's obvious that they're trying to frame me for something that I didn't do, that I wasn't in the state to even commit. And now the FBI fingerprints that they're relying on is from someone that was arrested in 1971, August 26, when I was 17 days old. So there's no other recourse but to deny extradition by the state of Georgia, because the state of Georgia is not here. I thought she was the state of Georgia's prosecutor, but she's not. You said the state of Georgia is not represented here today. So with those facts being the case, this extradition needs to be denied, the state of Georgia, and I need to be released immediately.
Okay, we'll put the fingerprints on the side. She's arguing that you've been identified by a photograph. That's State's Exhibit 1. Do you have an argument against that?
I mean, they can put any photo together and say, we got this from the FBI, we got this from whatever, or date of birth, because they don't have a date of birth, they don't have a social security number in order to verify. That's why we have a fingerprint process. If they can use the photo as identification, they would never ask for fingerprints. The fingerprints is to specifically identify that individual because no two individuals have fingerprints. Now, there are plenty of people that have pictures that look like me. I can give you a few pictures of some people and you would think that's me, just looking at a photo.
Is State's Exhibit 1 one of them?
Right, who says that's not me? That's what they're saying.
Okay. Anything else about the photographs?
Other than that, I mean, that's not a valid way to identify someone because you have twins. How does the state know I don't have a twin, or I'm not a triplet or a quadruplet?
Okay. Yesterday you indicated that it was both you and your son arrested for the child molestation offense in Georgia. And then you indicated that something I didn't quite understand. I mean, there was a statement that both you and your son were arrested for this offense in Georgia. And what was your explanation as to why it wasn't you?
Well, no, I wasn't arrested in the state of Georgia. I wasn't arrested because I wasn't there. I was here in Hawaii. My son got arrested on a traffic stop, and when they ran his name, it said that there was a warrant for his arrest for a child molestation, and so they took him into custody. Once he went to the hearing, it was dismissed with prejudice because it was proven that he wasn't there, just like I wasn't there. The incident never happened, so you can't prosecute on something that didn't happen.
Well, that's something that will be answered by the state of Georgia. You indicated yesterday that you were arrested with your son for that offense, and then you gave me something about a corporation.
Right, I was arrested at the Attorney General's office because I was there under the pretense that I was supposed to see David Louis in regards to the corruption here in Hawaii. And that's basically when I was set up as far as being arrested for a warrant, they say, that was issued for the corporation Anthony Troy Williams, but not for me, the flesh and blood man, because I have paperwork and documentation to show that Anthony Troy Williams, the all capital letters, with a social security number is a different entity than me, the flesh and blood man, created in the image of Yahweh, Elohim, and Yahshua.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Williams?
Yes, under the Hawaii revised statute, can I go into that according to extradition laws?
Go ahead.
Hawaii revised statute 832-3, the title is Form of Demand. It states that no demand for the extradition of a person charged with crime in any state shall be recognized by the governor unless in writing, alleging, except in cases arising under section 832-6, that the accused was present in the demanding state at the time of the commission of the alleged crime, and that thereafter the accused fled from the state and accompanied by a copy of an indictment found or by information supported by affidavit in the state having jurisdiction of the crime, or by a copy of an affidavit made before a magistrate there together with a copy of any warrant which was issued thereupon, or by a copy of a judgment of conviction or of a sentence imposed in execution thereof, together with a statement by the executive authority of the demanding state that the person claimed has escaped from confinement or has broken the terms of the person's bail, probation, or parole. The indictment, information, or affidavit made before the magistrate must substantially charge the person demanded with having committed a crime under the law of that state, and the copy of the indictment, information, affidavit, judgment of conviction, or sentence must be authenticated by the executive authority making the demand. Now, which means the executive authority, I'm going to read the definition so the court won't misunderstand who the executive authority is. Under Hawaii Revised Statute 832-1 definitions states, where appearing in this chapter, the term governor includes any person performing the functions of governor by authority of the laws of this state. The term executive authority includes the governor and any person performing the functions of governor in any state, and the term state includes any state other than this state, the District of Columbia, or a territory, organized or unorganized, of the United States. The term interstate means between this state and another state. The term prosecuting officer or prosecuting attorney includes the attorney general of this state, any county attorney or prosecuting attorney of any county of this state. The term peace officer includes any officer authorized to serve process and criminal proceedings. So, according to Hawaii Revised Statute 832-1, the executive authority is the governor of the state. Now, I need to see a letter written from the governor of this state that's even authorizing an extradition to the state of Georgia. That's number one. Number two, I need this state or the state of Georgia to prove that I was in the state of Georgia when this crime was committed, according to Hawaii Revised Statute 832-1 and 3. Also, Hawaii Revised Statute 832-6, extradition of persons not present in demanding state at time of commission of crime. The governor of the state may also surrender on demand of the executive authority of any state, any person in the state charged in the state in a manner provided in section 832-3 with committing an act in the state or in another state intentionally, resulting in a crime in the state whose executive authority is making the demand, and this chapter not otherwise inconsistent shall apply to such cases, even though the accused was not in the state at the time of the commission of the crime. Also, Hawaii Revised Statute 832-10, rights of accused person, application for writ of habeas corpus. No person arrested upon their warrant shall be delivered over to the agent whom the executive authority demanded him as appointed to receive him, unless he shall first be taken before a judge of a court of record in this state, who shall inform him of the demand made for his surrender and of the crime which he is charged, and that he has the right to demand and procure legal counsel. And if the prisoner or his counsel state that he or they desire to test the legality of his arrest, the judge of the court of record shall fix a reasonable time to be allowed him within which to apply for a writ of habeas corpus. When the writ is applied for, notice thereof and of time and place of hearing thereon shall be given to the prosecuting officer of the county in which the arrest is made, in which the accused is in custody, and to the agent of the demanded state. That I am the entity or the person that they're looking for. The FBI has sent the fingerprints of a person that they fingerprinted and arrested in August 26, 1971, which is obviously not me. So therefore, this extradition to Georgia should be denied, and I should be released immediately.
Anything else, Mr. Williams?
That's all for now.
Okay. You were arrested without warrant. You didn't read 832.14, which permits that, and you were brought in compliance with 832.14 to the court. You were advised of your rights pursuant to 832.10. You were told that you had the right to counsel. I read you or paraphrased the complaint for extradition that was filed after your arrest. Today, the prosecutor tried to introduce or to identify you through fingerprints, and I will acknowledge that it failed to do that. But there is the evidence of the photographic identification and also your statements yesterday. I'm going to find that the state has proved identity. I'm going to set a hearing approximately 30 days from now. The governor's warrant, which you requested, will be necessary, and the state will have to arrange for that. What's the return date? Okay.
You didn't.
Your Honor.
You have a right to file a writ or an application for writ of habeas corpus, and I'm going to give you 2 weeks to file an application for writ of habeas corpus, and that will be heard on the return date for the governor's warrant.
But I want to know, how is it that you, as an acting judge, you
What
reschedule?
about bail, Ms. Mariana?
Your Honor, Georgia has asked that the defendant be held with no bail.
I object to that.
The court will find that no condition or combination of conditions will assure the defendant's presence when required. The court will hold the defendant pending the governor's warrant hearing. Anything else?
Yes. How can you sit there on that bench after the state has presented prints that you admit on the record that the fingerprint expert admit on the record are not my prints? I haven't been proven that I'm the person that they were looking for. You are using an ID that they're saying is me, and if you look at the ID, it's an expired ID that they're saying that they're using as identification as me. The testimony of the witnesses.
I've ruled, and that's all I'm going to say about the ruling.
Yeah, I'm not finished talking.
Well, I finished.
The witness,
So
you haven't finished
the
with
hearing is over. I
The
asked you
jurisdiction has been
before I
challenged.
ruled if you had anything else to say, and you
Yes.
said you did not. So
No, I did not
this
say I
hearing
had nothing
is
to say.
over.
Because on the
We'll stand
Hawaii
in
Revised
recess.
Statute, you're in violation because I did attest the legality of this case. You did not hear that today.
Court said in recess.
We all see what happens.
Stay calm.
Anthony, the oath of office is right over there.
I need a copy of that.
And your itineraries over there from, you're in your.
Yeah, it's with the court clerk now.
She's holding it.
The court clerk has his itinerary and the oath of office of the judge.
Stay calm.
Yeah, Manny. I want you to look at that. You see that right there? Why is that tape over there?
So, I don't know, why do you think that tape's over there?
Maybe somebody who cannot sit there and maybe pass some documents if he needs it.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
was the sheriff's all put over here? There's 1, 2, and 3, one right here.
Section's closed. You can't sit there and
Was
pass
that
arguments.
because maybe if he had evidence to be put in before the court, he would not be an obstructive of his due process right? I
And-
just questioned that. Does it make sense, the document? Yeah, Ms. Gutierrez, you are assigned as a public defender, correct? Assistant. My question is, how can Mr. Anthony Williams give what?
He is his own counsel.
So are you assigned or not? You see that? There's no way of getting documentation. That's the way it's defended.
And I was intentionally distracted and virtually harassed by somebody who was stationed just next to me so that I couldn't film. And this officer specifically stood where he knew that he could obstruct the view of the camera to the court.
What is the itinerary? She will take it.
You have a copy of it, but you don't know. Get her contact number. Contact. Find out where you can find her.